tummy time terror, the bane of every new parent's existence. You lay your precious little one down on their belly, hoping to help them build strength and hit those milestones. But within seconds, the wailing begins. Sound familiar? Well, what if I told you that your baby's hatred of tummy time has a fascinating biological explanation that no one talks about? You see, when you place your baby on their tummy, you're essentially putting them in a position that completely throws off their sense of balance. And here's the kicker. Your baby's vestibular system, the complex apparatus in the inner ear that controls balance and spatial orientation, is still very much under construction in those early months. So from your baby's perspective, tummy time feels about as stable and comfortable as trying to balance on a tightrope in a windstorm after downing a bottle of rum punch. Not fun. But here's where it gets really interesting. Recent studies have shown that the vestibular system and your baby's overall sensory processing have a much bigger impact on their tolerance for tummy time than we ever realized. It's not just about building neck and core strength, it's a delicate dance of neurological development, sensory integration, and good old-fashioned patience. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Great, one more thing to worry about. How am I supposed to get my baby to tolerate tummy time if their own body is working against them? Fear not, my fellow parents, I've got you covered with some little-known tips and tricks to help your baby and you survive and thrive during tummy time. First up, let's talk timing. You know how you feel after scarfing down a big Sunday dinner of rice and peas, stewed chicken, and plantain. All you want to do is flop down on the couch and slip into a food coma. Well, your baby feels the same way after a big feeding. Trying to do tummy time right after a meal is a recipe for disaster. Instead, aim for tummy time when your baby is well rested and content, like after a nice long nap or a leisurely stroll around the block. Next, let's talk about the surface. You might think a soft, cushy blanket is the way to go, but for some babies, that uneven surface can actually make tummy time even more challenging. Opt for a firm, flat surface like a play mat or even a clean towel on the floor. This gives your baby a stable base to push against and helps them feel more secure. Now, here's a Caribbean secret weapon for tummy time success: the humble beach towel. Hear me out. Not only does a bright, colorful beach towel provide excellent visual stimulation for your baby, which we'll talk about more in a minute, but the slightly rough texture can actually give them some extra sensory input and help them stay focused. Plus, it's a great excuse to start dreaming about that family vacation to Negro or Montego Bay. But perhaps the most powerful tool in your tummy time arsenal is your own face. That's right. Getting down on the floor with your baby and engaging with them face to face can make all the difference. Your baby is hardwired to seek out human connection, and the sight of your smiling face is often enough to distract them from the discomfort of tummy time. So put on your best coochie cool voice, break out the silly faces, and get ready to put on a show. And don't be afraid to think outside the box when it comes to tummy time positions. If your baby absolutely despises being on the floor, try laying them across your lap while you sit in a chair or on the couch. You can even try a modified tummy time position by propping them up on a nursing pillow or a rolled-up towel. The key is to start slow, follow your baby's cues, and gradually build up their tolerance over time. Now, I know we've covered a lot of ground here, but I want to leave you with one final thought. Tummy time may be challenging, but it's also an incredible opportunity to bond with your baby and witness their development in real time. Those little moments when they first lift their head or push up on their tiny arms or flash you a gummy grin, those are the moments that make all the hard work worthwhile. So the next time you're facing a tummy time meltdown, just remember your baby isn't trying to torture you, even though it might feel that way. They're just learning to navigate this big, bold world with an immature vestibular system and a whole lot of heart. And with a little patience, creativity, and maybe a dash of that classic Caribbean resilience, you'll both come out the other side stronger than ever. But wait, Before you go, I've got one more juicy tidbit to share about your baby's developing vestibular system. You know how some babies can't get enough of being rocked, bounced, and swung upside down by their doting parents and grandparents? Well, it turns out that all that movement is actually helping to strengthen and mature their vestibular system. Studies have shown that gentle, rhythmic movement can help babies regulate their sensory input, calm their frazzled nerves, and even promote better sleep. Hallelujah! So don't be afraid to bust out your best dance moves, take a spin in the rocking chair, or even try a little baby wearing while you go about your day. Your baby's vestibular system will thank you. Of course, as with all things parenting related, moderation is key. You don't want to overstimulate your baby's delicate system or risk making them motion sick. But a little bit of gentle movement throughout the day can work wonders for their development and for your own sanity. And speaking of sanity, if you're feeling overwhelmed by the challenges of tummy time or anything else in those wild first months of parenthood, remember that you're not alone. Every parent struggles sometimes, and it's okay to ask for help when you need it. Whether it's calling up a trusted friend or family member, joining a local parenting group, or even just taking a few deep breaths and reminding yourself that this too shall pass. You've got this. So here's to embracing the chaos, celebrating the small victories, and maybe even learning to love tummy time, or at least tolerate it. And if all else fails, just remember, there's no shame in a little extra cuddle time. After all, that's what being a Caribbean parent is all about. Lots of love, a little bit of mischief, and a whole lot of heart. Now, I want to hear from you. What's your biggest tummy time challenge or success story? How have you helped your baby learn to love, or at least tolerate, this essential developmental milestone? Drop a comment below, and let's swap stories. I promise I'll respond to as many as I can. And if you found this video helpful, why not spread the love? Hit that like button, share with a fellow parent who's deep in the tummy time trenches, and consider subscribing to Yardie Baby for more Caribbean-flavored parenting tips, tricks, and a whole lot of laughter. I've got tons more great content coming your way, including a deep dive into baby wearing, Caribbean style, a hilarious look at the joys and horrors of baby-led weaning, and some tried and true sleep tips that just might change your life, or at least help you function on more than 3 hours of sleep. Alright, my lovely Yardie Baby crew, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, you are doing an amazing job. Your baby is so lucky to have you as their guide through this wild, wonderful world. Keep shining bright, and I'll see you in the next video. Walk good.